What's going on, guys? Bethesda Games here, more Fallout 3, TTW Wastelands. And last episode when we left off, we made our way starting into the Pitt DLC, and we also showed off different ways you could enter the DLC, which is really cool, so I recommend going back and watching that if you haven't seen it. We are stuck here now, so we have to carry on through the DLC before we make it out, before we can leave and make it out the other side. Just quickly mentioning, in between episodes I did download a couple of mods, and one that I'll point out at first is a sort of UI improver, and it basically gives you more information, or more detailed information in your Pip-Boy and the Just Loot menu, and you also have the option to make a key that shows off other information like the critical chance, the critical multiplier, the bonus critical damage, the AP cost in VATs, the reload speed and the attack speed, and it also gives you a more detailed look at the weapon condition. Really cool mod, and I do wish some of the options for it were a little bit more sort of divided up, so you could it allows for more precise customization, but at the moment it's really cool. There are another couple of mods that I downloaded, and I'll mention those as and when they sort of become important. So you can see there we have the monetary value as well for any items, and it gives us a more precise indication of how it's going to affect our character's weight in the Just Loot menu, and that is the same mods that affects our Pip-Boy menu that I just showed.
Anthony's sick. He sent me to take his place.
Tough shit. Get back down there where you belong. Oh, ugh.
But he's quite cheesy. But you can tell the pit raiders don't mess around.
Shouldn't you be working?
Yeah, what do you want? I am working. You must be new here. I serve the slop to the other slaves. You want food? Let me know. The good news is that this crap is nearly unlimited. But it's mostly radiated water and trog meat anyway. You want some or not? It's your funeral. Here you go.
So we do have the option to get some food, but you can see it's not the best for us. The health benefits aren't actually too bad, but it does give you that plus 20 rads. So without a way to clear our rads, it's not something that you want to rely on to get your health back.
All right, we can talk now, but we shouldn't take too long. They saw you come in here, so they'll come looking for you if you take too long. I have a plan for getting you into Asher's palace, but we need to wait. In the meantime, you're going to have to blend in. Someone needed to. I'm sure you noticed that the guards don't take kindly to newcomers. You're going to need to look busy or they'll sniff you out pretty quickly. And if they get too close, you don't look like you belong here. So I'm going to send you out to do a job that will keep you away from the guards. Outside of the mill, there are a bunch of old steel ingots just lying around. Every so often, the foreman puts out a work order to collect them. It's practically a death sentence, and they never assign it to anyone. They make us pick who's going to do it. Bastards. Yeah, well, the area is full of trogs. They're what most of us hope we never become. The contamination gets to everyone to some degree. For most people, it's some form of cancer. Sometimes harmless, sometimes not. For others, the contamination drives them insane. If it doesn't kill them, It changes them. They become animals, deformed and inhuman. It's not pretty. They're everywhere and they kill on sight. I can't really help you there. Ask around. Maybe check with Marco in the mill. He's been making some of our tools into weapons. You might even be able to find a gun on one of the dead bosses out in the steel yard. What was that?
What's going on in here, Medea? Who is this scam?
Nothing, sir. I was just telling this new worker about the job the foreman posted.
Oh, yeah? So he's the one that's going out to the steel yard, huh?
Yes, sir. I told him what he needs to do. He knows. 10 ingots, as fast as he can.
Well then, I hope you also said goodbye. Alright, playtime's over. Get to work, grinders. You're awfully nimble for a slave. Keep walking, drone.
So yeah, sounds like we've got a pretty difficult task ahead of us. And if you're a lower level, it can definitely be a bit of a challenge. But it does take place in a really cool area. But on our way over here, there'll be this slave here, Millie, with the sort of pink hair.
Have you seen Wild Bill around?
And she'll give you a little unmarked quest to find Wild Bill.
Bill's a friend of mine, a very dear friend. We've worked the mill together for a long time. Last week we were forced to choose someone to gather ingots from the steel yard. Bill volunteered. He didn't want anyone to have to die out there, but he's a survivor. He can't be dead. You look like you can handle yourself. Could you look for him and bring him back? Thank you so much. Just be careful out there. Bill would never forgive himself if someone got hurt looking for him. Good luck.
So we'll make sure to find Wild Bill while we're out in the steel yard.
Back to it.
So as we enter into the mill, I want to use this chance to show off another mod, or another feature of the improved item mod. Yeah, that allows us to have various information about our weapons, to show off other features of the mod, and that is to highlight items. I haven't fully got it set up to be exactly how I want it. Yeah, I want to make it so it ignores a couple more items and highlights items that it doesn't currently, so I need to figure out how to do that. But it basically highlights all containers. These ones are empty, so I didn't highlight these ones, but you can also set it to highlight different crafting materials. We've got this turpentine here that we need for our nuke grenades, and you can also set it so it ignores your ability to pick up certain items to help stop you clogging up your inventory, and it's all sort of toggled with a hotkey that you can customize. Very, very cool mod. Like I said, I still haven't got it fully set up exactly how I want it. I do think some of the settings need to be split up a little bit better to make it exactly how I'd like, but at the moment it hasn't been out that long. It's very cool.
In or out?
Whatever you need, whenever you need, I'll be ready.
Perfect. Just hang tight a little while longer while everything comes together. We'll probably have a meeting soon. I'll let you know.
You can tell something's definitely going down. But we have got the objective to go into the steel yard. Before we do that, let's come over and talk to this character here.
Hey, not so loud. The bosses can't see what I'm up to over here. Making weapons. Lots of them. There's something coming, and soon. So, I take the crap we find out in the yard, and some of the tools we use, and I make them into stuff we can fight the bosses with. Yeah. You're the one Medea told me about. Werner sent you, right? I can help you out. Take this. It's called an auto axe. Nice, huh? I make them out of the old car parts the breakers drag in from the city. Do what you can with it. Just be careful around the bosses. Make a wrong move, and you're done.
That does give us an auto axe. Very useful weapon to have. Swap those around. And very, very powerful. Looks very cool and does a lot of damage as well. Well, that's listing damage as 0. That might just be because of the fact that we're in this area at the moment. Or it might be the item card mod I was just mentioning.
So you're the lucky scab gathering ingots for me today, huh? Good to see a little enthusiasm for once. Well, follow me.
Guy's outfit seems to be quite different
No.
from what I remember.
There you are, dirty man. Who'd you piss off with that damn sounds? Actually, don't even tell me. It's not like you'll be alive long anyways.
May as well take some of this guy's stuff while we're here.
Boy, you got some arms on you, scab. See that fella up there? You'll be seeing lots of those. And if you survive them, you'll probably run into those crazies that live up on the blast furnace. Tell you what, why don't you do me a favor and get killed close to the door? That way, I don't have to walk so far to loot your corpse, huh? Here's the door. Get out there and grab some ingots. Don't come back without at least 10. Turn them into me and I'll see if I can slip a little something your way.
Yeah, not sure why ever its armor's different than what I remember. Not sure what mod is doing that, but it looks pretty cool. I don't think I've downloaded any sort of clothing mods for quite a while. But here is the Pitt Steel Yard. Very cool area, very dangerous, and one of the reasons why I'd recommend saving this DLC to a little bit later, because it will mess you up. But if you remember, we do have the mod for all our collectibles throughout the main game and the DLC, and that does sort of fill our screen up a little bit with the map markers. Yeah, but it will make it a lot easier to find all the ingots. There are plenty of guides out on YouTube. I might link one in the description for you guys, so that way you can use that if you're struggling to find all the ingots, and it's a good alternative to finding all the ingots. It's a good alternative to this quest mod we've got. But just for the sake of the playthrough, I will be using this mod because it will make things easier for us and much quicker. And as we collect the ingots, obviously it'll make things much sort of clearer on the HUD. But there is a corpse here right at the entrance that has an assault rifle and some ammo, so we definitely want to make sure to loot that guy and set up the our quick select wheel. And we need to test out our auto axe to make sure the damage isn't actually
Billy.
0.
It's me, your brother John. You remember me, don't you, Billy? Billy? Help me!
John didn't do so well. Yeah, actually get in here. And I also did download a mod that I didn't realise Tale of Two Wastelands reduces the item value of thin red paste and blood sausage. So I did download a mod that restores them to their original value. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with the auto-axe damage. It might just be because it's a you know, it's not an instant hit weapon, it is just DPS based, as it's a weapon that you hold out. But the auto axe is going to be one of your biggest friends clearing out this area, just because it is very, very powerful. And there'll be a couple of unique versions of it we can get. And then once I'm not sure if it's when we spend a certain amount of time out in the steel yard. I've always got it around this sort of point. We do get a perk that increases our damage with the auto axe. So it's gone. The DPS has gone up from 50 to 62. So it's quite a significant increase. So it is the auto expert perk. And you can see it increases your damage by 25%, so pretty substantial, and probably one of the reasons why the auto axe is very, very powerful. You see on the compass, blocks are constantly spawning, but with our auto axe, it's we do have to be careful because we haven't got much protection at the moment. But they're not too much of a threat. Things like thin red paste will make it a lot easier to survive. So that is one reason that I would recommend getting that perk if you can. And we can go through this door. There's multiple ingots in there to get, but we're going to save that for a bit later and worry about clearing out some of these other areas first. In here as well, you want to make sure to loot the medkits. Only had one Radex in there. Bit unlucky. Here we want to take some Radex. And you might notice as well, top right, something I forgot to point out, is we have got bars that let us know exactly how long any sort of aid items we take are going to be lasting, which is very, very useful. And I'm pretty sure it works for stealth boys as well. I'm just going to mess around with it a little bit because I didn't realise it clipped with the rad meter. So I'll meet you back after doing that. So yeah, much better. Doesn't intrude on the rad meter there. Could also get a much better condition assault rifle. And also got that metal armour. I do remember there being some items down here as well that are worth looting. Should be this guy. Can't see any ammo by him though. It is visually very messy, unfortunately. But like I said, it'll get better the more ingots we pick up. Where we come up from the main area where we entered. Even with the markers, I missed some. And we will make sure to get all the ingots, that way I can show off all the rewards that you get from Everett. Some of them are very powerful.
You want to get close, huh? Huh?
And if we're lucky, there should be a combat shotgun, I think, round the corner. If we're unlucky, it'll be a level weapon. But no, we did get a combat shotgun. Along with some ammo. Very nice weapon to have. Seems like it's already equipped itself, but... move very slow with metal armor, and we will drain our AP points because technically we're always going to be in combat with the fact that there's all the trogs around wanting to eat us. Got a few more to get on this level. But as we come up the stairs here, next to these two ingots, there is Wild Bill, and he does have a note on him. He also has a unique sidearm. Wild Bill sidearm is a 32 pistol. And we may as well take his head wrap. There's one thing that I've just noticed with the item cards. It does remove the plus or minus when comparing. So I'll have to double check Stewie's tweaks and make sure there isn't an issue with that. You see it does more damage, higher DPS as well. Slightly higher AP cost. Other than that, it's fairly similar. It has got a bonus critical chance and damage. Critical. So we'll repair our wild build sidearm. Our standard 32 pistol, it isn't as accurate though, that is one thing with it. But it does actually make the 32 pistol very usable. And the steel yard is a very difficult area, generally speaking. But if you're lucky and there's no enemies currently around you, you can sleep in these beds. So if you are struggling on healing items, you can always come to these beds and make sure to rest up. We will get those ingots down there in a bit. Did forget those ones, bloody hell. Not doing too well, even with the markers. That's one of the reasons why it's a very useful mod to have. Sorry for everyone that was screaming at me, saying that I've missed these ones earlier when I walked up there. And I was hoping to get all this done this episode, but it has taken a little bit longer than I expected, even with those markers. So I think here's, looking at how long this episode has been, is quite a good place to wrap this episode up. And then obviously next episode we'll carry on making our way through the steel yard, get all the ingots left over there, all those ones over there, and then wrap up the rest of this area. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far. If you have enjoyed the series, please like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on anything. Any mods that I've mentioned throughout the video will be linked down in the description below, so you guys can try them out for yourself. But thanks again for watching. Always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.